Marcus Chen stared at the holographic notification floating above his wrist terminal, reading it for the third time. The words hadn't changed. Colony Integration Protocol, Complete Genetic Compatibility. Matches 2. Spouses assigned, awaiting confirmation. There must be some mistake, he muttered, running a hand through his dark hair. He'd only arrived on Kepler 442b 3 days ago, one of 50 human colonists selected for the Galactic Federation's Experimental Integration Program. The last thing he expected was a marriage assignment from an AI that apparently didn't understand human customs. There is no mistake, Colonist Chen. The voice belonged to Administrator Velthar, a towering Zenthari with crystalline skin that refracted the station's artificial light into rainbow patterns. The alien's 3 eyes blinked in sequence as he consulted his own datapad. The Genesis AI has reviewed your biological profile and determined that humans possess exceptionally high reproductive needs compared to the galactic average. Marcus felt heat rising to his cheeks. That's not... we don't just... He struggled to find words that wouldn't make this conversation more awkward. Humans don't reproduce constantly. Where did this AI get its data? Velthar's translator device produced what might have been a sigh from your planet's information networks. The AI analyzed billions of data points from what you call the Internet. The administrator paused. Perhaps your species should have been more selective about what cultural materials you broadcast into space. Marcus closed his eyes. Humanity's first contact had happened only 18 months ago, and Earth's uncensored internet had given the galactic community a very skewed impression of human behavior. He'd heard stories of other colonists trying to explain away Earth's more embarrassing cultural exports, but he'd never imagined it would affect him personally. I appreciate the AI's thoroughness, Marcus said carefully, but I'd like to decline the assignment. Decline? Velthar's crystalline features somehow conveyed surprise. But the matches are scientifically optimal. Your genetic markers show remarkable compatibility with both candidate Zix-7 and candidate Lyra. The AI calculated a 94.7% probability of successful offspring. Both? Marcus's voice cracked slightly. Yes. The Genesis AI determined that humans require multiple partners to satisfy their complex social and reproductive needs. The data was quite clear. Your species forms what you call relationships with remarkable frequency and intensity. Before Marcus could respond, 2 figures entered the consultation chamber. The first was tall and willowy, with skin that shimmered like oil on water and eyes that were entirely black save for silver pupils. The second was shorter, more compact, with pale blue skin covered in intricate bioluminescent patterns that pulsed gently. Colonist Marcus Chen, Velthar announced formally. May I present Zix-7 of the Morph Collective and Lyra of the Luminae Accord. Zix-7 spoke first, her voice like wind chimes. The AI says you are compatible with me. It says humans value emotional depth and intellectual connection. I have studied 14 of your philosophical texts in preparation. Lyra's bioluminescent patterns flared brighter. And I have reviewed 37 of your musical compositions. The AI indicated humans bond through shared artistic experiences. I have prepared a mating display incorporating 3 of your classical symphonies. Marcus held up his hands. Please, both of you, I'm honored, truly, but there's been a misunderstanding. We're not assigned partners. We choose them, and it takes time, and it's usually just one person, and... One? Zix-7's head tilted at an angle that would have broken a human neck. But the data showed humans frequently expressed desire for multiple simultaneous connections. There were millions of artistic works depicting this. Marcus mentally cursed every polyamory subreddit and romantic drama that had ever been uploaded to the internet. Those are fantasies mostly, he tried to explain. Fiction. Entertainment, not actual statistical norms for human relationships. Oh. Lyra's patterns dimmed slightly. The AI did not differentiate between fictional and documentary sources. It weighted all human cultural output equally. Velthar made a notation on his datapad. This explains several other, unusual, colony assignments. We should perhaps recalibrate the Genesis AI's understanding of human behavior. That would be helpful, Marcus said, relief flooding through him. However, the administrator continued, the compatibility assessment remains valid. Both Zix-7 and Lyra have expressed genuine interest in human companionship. and you are indeed genetically compatible with both species. While we cannot force the assignment, we must note that colony integration is significantly enhanced by interspecies bonding. Marcus looked at the two alien beings, he corrected himself, who were watching him with expressions he was only beginning to understand. 6-7 silver pupils had expanded, which he'd learned indicated curiosity. Lyra's patterns had shifted to a soft amber color that, according to the cultural briefing, suggested nervousness. They'd prepared for this meeting. They'd studied human culture, however flawed their source material had been. They'd genuinely tried. Could we start with something less formal than marriage? Marcus suggested. Humans usually begin with something called dating. It's a process of getting to know each other without immediate commitment. 6-7's form rippled with what might have been excitement. A courtship ritual. We have similar traditions in the collective. And the Luminae perform the dance of gradual luminescence before bonding, Lyra added, her patterns brightening again. A slow revelation of inner light. Perhaps this dating is similar? Marcus found himself smiling despite the absurdity of the situation. Something like that, yes. Velthar updated his datapad. I will inform the Genesis AI that human reproduction requires extended courtship periods, and that pair bonding is typically sequential rather than parallel. He paused. Though I will note in the file that exceptions may exist. Thank you, Marcus said, then turned to 6-7 and Lyra. Would you both like to join me for dinner in the communal habitat? I can't promise anything beyond conversation, but I'd like to learn more about your cultures. The real information, not what some algorithm decided was important. Lyra's pattern swirled into what he was learning to recognize as a smile equivalent. The AI said humans bond over breaking bread together. I have researched this custom extensively. I have prepared 17 topics of conversation about human philosophy, 6-7 added. As the three of them left the administrative chamber, Marcus reflected that while the galaxy's understanding of humanity was deeply flawed, perhaps that wasn't entirely a bad thing. Misconceptions could be corrected, cultural bridges could be built, and sometimes, algorithmic mistakes led to unexpected opportunities. He still planned to file a formal complaint about the Genesis AI's research methodology, but that could wait until after dinner. After all, he thought with a smile, humans might not have the high reproductive needs the AI imagined, but they did have something the algorithm had actually gotten right, and remarkable capacity for connection. Given the chance to make it on their own terms,